Hello there, humans and non-humans alike. This is the Doctor. Just chilling out in my jacuzzi. Wish I had a real one though. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm gonna do another BuzzFeed video. I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but this one is kind of funny, and I thought I would do something different this time, because this video isn't directed to me at all. Well, maybe directed to one eighth of me or something. But yeah, 24 questions black people have for white people. And this is BuzzFeed Yellow, so you know this is going to be fun. Let's start it off.
Why do you always make such horrible decisions in horror movies? It's not cool to split up.
Hold up. So you're asking real life white people why they make horrible decisions in horror movies? You do see what's wrong with that question, right?
Why do you freak out when black people are cast to play white fictional characters?
Yeah, that actually depends on the character. It's not like we've never had that has never happened. I mean, that has happened a couple of times, but it depends on the character itself. Let's put it like this. Let's say you have a character that being black basically is a part. Let's take Shaft. You know, Shaft being like a soul brother, that's part of who he is. What if all of a sudden they came out with a Shaft movie and Brad Pitt was playing Shaft? Would you guys be like, oh yeah, that's cool. It depends on the character. If basically being a European or a white American is part of that character, then yeah, I can understand white people talking shit about it. But it's not like it's never happened before. And yeah, a few white people are going to bitch about it either way, and those are bigots, but that's really not the majority. Just like how black people would bitch about if they change a character that basically their race isn't part of who they are and they change it to white, that some black bigoted people would claim, would argue and bitch about. It depends on the character.
What's the big deal if Idris Elba plays James Bond? I would go see it twice.
Why is a big butt and big lips considered attractive on a white woman, but they're unattractive on a black woman?
Who told you that? I mean, I personally know a lot of white people that love big butts. Heck, look at Beyonce and her ass. How many white people love that ass? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, there are white people that simply don't like black people no matter what they look like, but if a white person likes, falls for black women, then big lips and a big ass, I'm quite sure that they're going to like that. So what?
Do y'all really think Miley is the one who created twerking? Really?
Again, who told you that? White people know. I mean, there are plenty of white people that are bashing on Miley Cyrus for trying to be black. White people know that Miley Cyrus did not come up with that dance, that she was just emulating what she saw other black chicks and white chicks do. Do you guys actually talk to white people, or I don't understand where it's coming from?
Why am I supposed to teach you how to twerk? I don't know how to twerk.
What?
Did someone really ask you that? Seriously, did someone really ask you that? If someone actually asks you that, then they're an idiot. If they've never seen you twerk and they just ask you, hey, do you show me how to twerk, then they're idiots. But to be honest, I don't think that someone actually asked you that.
Why is it that white people always act as though they have discovered a new trend when people of color have been doing it for virtually years?
Do they really? I mean, this is me actually asking that. They actually do that. And the thing with trends, they pass and they come back, and then they pass and they come back, and usually when a trend comes back, it's changed a little bit. You know, they do subtle changes to it. And then, well, maybe they take credit for it, maybe not, because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Just name a trend that white people claim to have discovered. Because again, I don't know where it's coming from.
Why is it when a black woman wears her hair natural, it's seen as inappropriate, but when a white woman does, it's praised?
Do what? I mean, how? I don't. I think you mean that white people want when you go to work that you straighten your hair or something, but that rarely happens. I mean, I think it wasn't. I forgot the name of that girl. One. She was basically fired, and that's because she had dreadlocks. And if I'm correct, she won that case. Because yeah, it's her natural hair. Again, I think you're talking about a few isolated cases where that happens. You know, and let's face it, or maybe it's just because you had your hair kind of messy that day or something, because again, I don't know where it's coming from. You know, I used to have dreads. I've never, no white people has ever told me to straighten my hair or something. You know, just like my sister, she used to have an afro. Now she does straight it, but she used to have an afro, and she never lost a job or got any complaints about it. The only reason that she's straightening it now is because she likes the style, just like so many other black women do. So, citation needed, please.
This is the hair that I was born with, so you wearing it as a trend is not cute.
Wait, are you telling me that white people change their hair to look just like yours? You know, I'm not talking about the other girl that looks as if she's mixed, you know, because they're all white women that have curly hair like that. You know, there are Mid-Eastern girls that have curly hair like that. No, look at Shakira. Yeah, I know I like Shakira, but she also has curly hair, so I guess you're talking about the way your hair looks. But I've never seen a white person, unless it's like a joke or something, to have their hair like, I don't know the white word for it. Here in the Netherlands we say cruise hair. You know, that's the real black African hair. And if a white person would change their hair to look like that, I'm quite sure that people laugh at them. There was a trend in, I think it was South Korea, where the teenagers started to change their hair to look just like African hair, you know, black hair. And it simply did not look natural, so I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about curly hair, just, you know, just curls, that's not really what they do. So, I mean, that's what they do. They curl their hair. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't look like your hair. It's completely different.
Like, can you appropriate my student loans? Can you take that off my hands?
Why is it that white crime is seen as an isolated incident, but black crime is a representation of my entire community?
Yeah, you should be asking the media that, not all white people, because just like 99% of the people out there, they believe what they see in the media, you know, what the news tell them and all that. And it's not white people doing that, it's the media. And I've made a video about it, that it's basically our own fault, the way we portray ourselves as a collective. Yeah, as a collective, basically. So, you're blaming the wrong people.
When we see a story on TV about a white serial killer, I don't automatically assume that all white people must be serial killers too.
You might not, but there are plenty of black people that put all whites in one box. Let's say, I bet you've heard a black person say all whites are devils. I'm quite sure you've heard that. Or all Catholics are pedophiles. Quite sure you've heard that one. Maybe you're not saying that, but let's not kid ourselves.
Why does talking about race make you feel so uncomfortable?
Is it because you think that you'll be perceived as racist if you talk about race?
Well, I think it's because they know that that conversation is not going to end well. That there's going to be a lot of victim, people playing the victim, blaming bullshit on other whites. I can understand why they rather not talk about race. Maybe, how would you start at it? You walk in, hey, what up, my white people? Let's talk about race. How do you think that's going to end? I'm quite sure that racism and slavery and stuff like that is gonna get into the conversation. Are you really surprised that white people rather not talk about that? Because usually when a black person talks about race to a white person, it's to get them to feel guilty. And nobody wants to feel guilty, especially for something that their forefathers did and not them.
You don't really believe that racism is over because we have a black president, do you?
Why?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, any white person that believes that is an idiot. But again, I'm quite sure that it's a minority of white people thinking that. And those whites are simply those that don't know that many black people and live in a place where there aren't that many black people. So you can't really blame them. You know what I'm saying? Most white people, they know that racism isn't over because they see it. They talk to people that actually talk shit about black people and they're like, hey, that's racist, though. Or they are racist, but if they are racist, they know that racism still exists. So again, it's a really minority that think that.
Why is it so easy for you to notice when there are no white people around, but you hardly ever notice when there are no black people around?
Really? Citation needed.
Why is your goal to be colorblind?
And there's so many different types of people in the world, yet you can't see color?
Hold up. So let me get it straight. If a white person doesn't want to see color, but wants to see us all as one race, that is a problem for you? How is that a problem? I don't see color either. I see the person. I see the person behind the skin. How is that a problem? Everybody should do that. You should do that. If everybody did that, we wouldn't have the problems we have today. Come on, think.
Why do you want to say the N-word so badly?
If I don't use it, what makes you think you can?
Why?
Probably because we say that a lot. Now, I rarely say it, but let's be honest, black people are known for saying nigga. Look at how many songs, and this is also something, a lot of white people love hip-hop. They listen to hip-hop, and they want to sing the song, even if they were their friends on the street, they want to sing a song and say the word nigga without black people saying, well, what the fuck did you just say? If you want white people to stop wanting to say nigga, then we should stop saying that. That simple. Also, when you say the N-word, do you really think that's that much better than nigga or nigger? When you say N-word, in someone else's head, he's hearing nigga or nigger. When someone talks to me and say N-word, in my head I'm hearing nigger. It's really not that much better saying N-word, because it's the context of the word, and the context is the same. It's nigga. That's what you're saying. So stop saying N-word, just say nigga.
Why do you always want to touch our hair?
Who told you it was okay to touch people without their permission?
Okay, I'll give you this one. I've also had that quite a lot when I had dreads. People wanting to touch my hair, and I don't like being touched, especially by someone I barely know. So okay, I'll give you that one, but it's basically simply because they're curious. They don't know that many black people that have hair like that, and they're like, hey, can I see what it feels like? But again, I'll give you that. I can understand that it's annoying.
Why do you feel like having one black friend makes you a cultural expert or not a racist?
Well, it depends on how close they are with that friend. I mean, if they say I have a black friend, which they barely see, which is just someone they know from work or something, yeah, then it's bullshit, and they're probably just saying it because you think they're racist. But if you have one black friend and he's like your best friend, that should tell you that they're not racist. Maybe they don't know other black people, or maybe other black people aren't accepting them, or maybe the other black people that they know are like thugs or gangsters and they don't want to be friends with them. That doesn't mean that they hate black people or whatever, but it should prove that they're not racist. Now, I've never heard of white people say, yeah, I have one black friend, so I know all about black culture. I've never heard that.
Is your only black friend comfortable with being the reason why you can't be racist?
Yeah, I'm quite sure that that black friend doesn't give a shit. You know, if they're really friends, actually close friends, that black person knows that he's not racist. You know, and that black person probably knows that if he ever says, I'm not racist because my friend is black, that it's because he's been put in a position where other people are saying he is racist. Understand?
That logic, then I'm not racist. I have a ton of white friends.
Do you? Do you really? Because to be honest, if you had that many white friends, I don't think you would be asking these questions.
Why do you feel comfortable cursing at your parents?
Why?
Stereotyping, huh? Huh. Wow, to think the irony in that.
Why do you kiss your dogs on the mouth?
Again, stereotyping. Heck, there are plenty of black people that do the same. I have a ferret. I kiss him all the time. You know, some people might say, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's my pet, you know. To be honest, I see him as kind of as family. And there are plenty of black people that do the same. There are plenty of black people that have dogs or whatever, and they see them as family. And well, kiss, that's not even really the right word, you know? I mean, it's basically just a dog licking your face. I mean, if a white person is actually kissing a dog the way you kiss a girl or something, well, then that person has a problem, but it's not really that many that do that, I think.
How come you can't pronounce black names like Quvenzhané, but can say names like Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and LaBeouf just fine?
Probably because they've heard those names hundreds of times. I mean, you're using famous people. Famous people. They've heard those names 100 times. It's in their heads. It's in the back of their mind. How are they going to mispronounce it? I mean, I bet if they heard that name you just said 100 times, they wouldn't mispronounce it either.
Why do you feel like all lions' lives matter, but black lives don't?
Why is a lion's life in Africa more important than the lives of black people here in America?
You know, I could ask black people the same thing. And to be honest, I think the reason that they think a lion's life is more important is because we are killing each other at an epidemic rate at this moment. They see that most black kids growing up, they don't give a shit about other black people, and they will shoot them down at the drop of a dime. So why would they care about your lives if you don't care about your lives? That being said, there are plenty of white people that actually do care about it, and actually don't really care that much about animals. So you're kinda stereotyping there again.
What did Simba ever do for you?
I get it. Lion King was an awesome movie, but so was Selma, and so was Malcolm X.
Okay.
Why is it so hard for you to acknowledge your privilege?
Yeah, many whites actually do kind of acknowledge that they know they have it easier. But the thing is, you guys want them to feel guilty about it. Well, it's basically not in their control that they have that. You know, yeah, maybe their, you know, ancestors, you could blame them, yeah, but it's really not their fault. And if someone is out to make you feel guilty, you're not gonna like that. You're gonna close yourself off to that, because nobody wants to feel guilty.
How does it feel to not be the spokesperson for your entire race at any given time?
Must be nice.
What the?